City of Austin wants investigators to look into hundreds of complaints against APD officers. They're related to actions taken during protests in late May.
APD's response to those weekend protests has been under scrutiny, in particular the shootings of multiple people with beanbag rounds. KXAN investigator Kevin Clark learned that many of the concerns were specific to one incident.
Today I spoke with the sister of Brad Ayala, the 16-year-old who was shot in the head with an officer's beanbag round. She says he's recovering well, really well, better than they'd hoped. She says he's walking, talking, is ramping up activity, and has even gone back to work part-time.
Medic! Medic here now!
Ayala never sought out this kind of attention, but his shooting helped drive calls for police reform here in Austin. The Office of Police Oversight reviewed more than 1,000 complaints about APD's response that weekend in May. 250 of them were related to Ayala.
We were really shocked by, and it was almost immediate, of the office getting calls starting, I believe that Sunday the 30th or the 31st, and our phones literally never stopped ringing.
Now investigators will review 275 of those complaints about high-profile incidents, but also about specific officers, a gun pointed at the press, lack of de-escalation. But the clock is ticking for internal affairs to complete this large volume of investigations. There is a so-called 180 rule in the police contract, which says an officer can only be disciplined for something that happened within the past 6 months. That includes temporary suspensions, demotions, or outright dismissals. I asked OPO Director Farah Muscadin about any hard deadlines she set to ensure IA finishes investigating in a timely manner.
Literally no later than the 150th day, but we've definitely had discussions about aiming for the 120th day.
As an example, time runs out on November 25th for Chief Brian Manley to punish an officer for conduct from May 29th. We reached out this morning to ask APD if Manley would be available for an interview, but the agency could not make him available. Kevin Clark, KXAN News.
There was overlap in these complaints, so it does not mean Internal Affairs will need to launch 275 separate investigations. A spokesperson for the City of Austin says it is still working to determine exactly how many investigations will result from these complaints.